Islam began in the early 7th century with the life and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad in Arabia. At its heart was the simple, powerful declaration of faith known as the Shahada. And that simply is, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. I want to point out here that Allah is the Arabic word for God. And so it's capitalized here, capital A-L-L-A-H. So there is no God but God, capital G, and Muhammad is his prophet. This belief, along with several others, complete the 5 pillars of faith. So one of those other beliefs is the Salah, which is a series of prayers that are recited throughout the day at certain times. Charity, known as zakat, which differs from Christianity's tithing, where a percentage of income is given to the church. Islam's charity is given directly to the poor, needy, or elderly. There's also a fasting period during the holy days of Ramadan, known as the Sawm. And there's a once-in-a-lifetime requirement for a pilgrimage to Mecca, known as the Hajj. And there are certain exclusions for that. People who are too ill or who cannot afford to make that pilgrimage are excused from it. But all of those together make the 5 pillars of Islam the foundation of Muslim life. From these beginnings, Islam spread rapidly under Muslim community, or Ummah, expanded under Muhammad and the 4 caliphs who followed him. Through conquest and conversion, Muslim rule stretched from Spain in the west to Persia in the east, forming vast caliphates. The Umayyads and later the Abbasids presided over this expansion, with Baghdad emerging as a center of learning and culture and knowledge. But unity didn't last. By the year 1000, there were rival caliphates in Baghdad, Cairo, and Cordoba. Even so, Islam continued to spread, not just through conquest, but also through trade, migration, and missionary activity. Merchants carried their faith across the Sahara into West Africa, across the Indian Ocean into Southeast Asia, and even deeper into Central Asia. Sufi mystics also played a key role. Through their poetry, music, and spiritual practice, they brought Islam to ordinary people in ways that really felt personal and accessible. This expansion created a diverse Islamic world, united by religion, but still fragmented politically. Muslims from Morocco to Indonesia shared sacred text, legal traditions under Sharia, and common institutions like mosques, courts, and schools. The ulama, religious scholars, helped maintain coherence across this vast world by issuing fatwa, which are basically laws or decrees to interpret law and correspond with one another across regions. At the same time, non-Muslims, like Jews, Christians, Hindus, and others, lived within Muslim societies, and they were protected communities within their Muslim communities. They were allowed to practice their faiths, but they had some restrictions, like they had to pay a tax. Many converted, sometimes sincerely, and sometimes just simply to get out of paying that tax. Trade networks knit the Islamic world together. Muslim merchants acted as middlemen between Europe, Africa, and Asia, exchanging not just goods like spices, silk, and precious metals, but also knowledge, languages, and technologies. Canvasaries along major routes provided safe havens for travelers, and Islamic banking practices, including the use of letters of credit, made long-distance commerce more secure. By 1500, Islam was truly a global religion. Powerful empires like the Ottomans in the Mediterranean, the Safavids in Iran, and the Mughals in India commanded enormous armies and patronized art, science, and architecture. Known collectively as the gunpowder empires, they harnessed new military technologies to expand their realms and influence. The Ottomans conquered Constantinople in 1453 and transformed it into Istanbul, the jewel of their empire. Under Suleiman the Magnificent, they reached the gates of Vienna, reformed law, and presided over a flowering of art and culture. The Safavids, meanwhile, reshaped Iran by making Shia Islam the state religion, permanently dividing the Muslim world into Sunni and Shia. Despite political rivalry, these Islamic states contributed to a vibrant intellectual and cultural life. Muslim mapmakers, astronomers, and physicians advanced global knowledge. Travelers like Ibn Battuta chronicled the diversity of lands and people connected by Islam. Artists, poets, and architects, from the mosaics of Isfahan to the domes of Istanbul, left enduring legacies. The story of Islam, then, is one of unity and diversity, faith and empire, conquest and trade. It's a story that begins in Arabia but quickly becomes global, shaping the histories of Africa, Asia, and Europe alike. Above all, it's a story of faith that continues to connect people across time and place through shared beliefs and practices.